What do you think about Miikka Muurinen?
Miikka Muurinen is really, at this point, a consensus #1 overall pick.
He is expected to graduate in the first semester of 2026. He's a 5-star forward with offers from Kentucky, Duke.
He played for the Finnish national team when he was only 17 years old and broke out at Peach Jam with 21 points in the FIBA.
Miikka Muurinen may not be in the NBA yet, but he has already been playing for Finland's senior national team in FIBA competitions. He has drawn attention from NBA scouts, and we already know coaches and recruiters are super excited about this kid coming in over the next few years. Miikka Muurinen is currently listed as one of the top 10 players in the class of 2026, and that is after moving from Finland to Spain and then to the United States. Mika projects as a modern 6'11" forward with two-way upside. Could he potentially rival the buzz around recent European phenoms? It is probably too early to tell, but what Mika has shown us thus far is that he has the potential to dominate all aspects of the game at the next level. We might be a little early to the hype and be doing a lot of foreshadowing, but it looks like at just 18 years old, Miikka Muurinen has all the tools needed to be an elite NBA talent. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. Let us talk about how all this hype was built up in the first place. Born in Finland, Miikka Muurinen grew up with basketball in his blood. Both his mom and dad played the game at a high level. His father, Kimmo, suited up 153 times for Finland's men's national team, while his mother, Jenny, played at North Carolina and later represented Finland's women's national team 68 times. Growing up around that influence, Mika was surrounded by the game from the start. He often trained in local gyms where his mom coached youth teams, and he quickly built a reputation for his work ethic and maturity beyond his years. He began his development with beat basket in his hometown, where his size and mobility were impossible to ignore. Even as a young teenager, he towered over opponents, yet moved with the fluidity of a guard. By 15 years old, he made the move to Spain to join Centro Basket Madrid, a clear signal that he was not just another local prospect. Centro is a respected program in Madrid that has produced several Division I and pro players, and Mika held his own against older competition while adjusting to a new country and culture. This was the stage where scouts outside Finland first began to take notice, and it marked the true beginning of his rise on the international radar. For the 2023 to 2024 season, Mika crossed the Atlantic, enrolling at Sunrise Christian Academy in Kansas, one of the top prep schools in the United States. This program is well known for producing high-level college and NBA talent, including players like Buddy Hield and Grady Dick, and it competes in the NIBC against elite national programs. It was a major step up from his time in Spain and exactly the kind of challenge a player of his caliber needed. That March, he suited up at the EuroLeague Next Generation tournament in Dubai, playing for the select team, where he averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 block per game. The event gathers elite junior talent, and Mika proved he belonged against high-level prospects overseas. Then in June 2024, Mika announced another move, this time to powerhouse AZ Compass Prep in Arizona, one of the most respected basketball academies in the country. Compass has produced dozens of Division I players and multiple NBA draft picks, including Ty Washington and Josh Primo. Joining this program signaled that Mika was ready to test himself daily against elite American competition. Just weeks later, he joined Bradley Beal Elite on the Nike EYBL circuit, a top EYBL program that has produced multiple pros. Playing in the EYBL meant facing the best high school talent in the world game after game. At Peach Jam 2024, the most prestigious AAU tournament in the United States, Mika had his breakout moment. In the championship game, he scored 21 points to help Bradley Beal Elite win the title. For scouts, that was the moment he went from promising to proven, but it was not just the final. He showed consistency all week long with strong performances on both ends of the floor. He blocked shots, switched onto guards, and knocked down threes, displaying the kind of versatility that makes him so unique. In one of the most competitive environments in basketball, Mika did not just survive, he stood out. And that is why, after Peach Jam, the buzz around his name exploded. Following his Peach Jam run, Mika was rated 5 stars and ranked in the top 10 of the 2026 class by Major Services. ESPN graded him a 93, ranking him 8th overall. Rivals placed him 6th, and 24/7 Sport also had him inside the top 10. On 3, Sports listed him as one of the top international prospects in the entire recruiting pool. Offers soon followed from Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, UCLA, and Arkansas, some of the biggest programs in college basketball and schools known for developing NBA forwards. For a Finnish player, this level of recruiting attention was unprecedented. Finland had produced NBA talent before, most notably Lauri Markkanen, but never had a teenager drawn this kind of global attention across every service and tournament. Usually, when players make big moves, their ranking dips as they adjust to higher levels of competition. But for Mika, his ranking held strong, proof of just how well he was performing in the United States and against elite international competition. In August 2023, Mika played for Finland at the FIBA Under-16 European Championship in Skopje, North Macedonia. Over 7 games, he averaged 16.9 points and 6.1 rebounds per game, while shooting over 30% from the field and ranking among the tournament leaders in scoring, cementing himself as one of the standout players at just 16 years old. Less than a year later, in June 2024, he debuted for Finland's senior national team at just 17 years old. In his very first game against New Zealand, he recorded 2 points, 3 blocks, and 1 assist in just 8 minutes to help Finland to a 73-70 win. 3 days later, he played against Latvia in another friendly, which Finland also won, giving him valuable senior-level minutes before the Olympic qualifiers. From there, he was included in Finland's roster for the 2024 Olympic qualifying tournament, where he went up against Spain, the Bahamas, and Poland. In limited minutes, he averaged 2.7 points and 1.7 rebounds. But the significance was not in the box score. It was the fact that a teenager was competing against some of the best international teams in the world and proving he belonged. And then came Eurobasket 2025. Playing at Eurobasket, Mika entered as the youngest player in the entire competition. Finland shocked Europe by making a stunning run to the semifinals and ultimately finishing 4th, the best result in the country's history. Across 9 games, Mika averaged 6.6 points, 1.9 rebounds, and 0.4 blocks in just 11 minutes per game, while shooting 60.6% from the field and 87.5% from the free throw line. He provided instant energy off the bench and gave Finland valuable depth at the forward spot, despite being years younger than nearly everyone he faced. His best performance came in the semifinal matchup against Germany, where he scored 12 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and blocked 2 shots in just 18 minutes. He even threw down a highlight reel dunk and knocked down a 3-pointer in transition. It was the kind of moment that made scouts realize he could perform under the brightest lights. What impressed evaluators most was not just the numbers, but the poise he showed under pressure. He defended older senior-level pros without backing down, ran the floor with confidence, and made smart decisions in limited touches. Those flashes gave Finland a boost in crucial stretches and left scouts convinced his ceiling is much higher than the stat line suggested. For his play, Mika was awarded the inaugural Eurobasket Rising Star Award, officially recognizing him as one of the top young players in Europe and joining a list of international teenagers who used the tournament as a springboard toward NBA stardom. So by now, you should have an idea of exactly why Miikka Muurinen is rated so highly. He is not just tall, he is skilled, versatile, and already proven at every level he has competed in. He has the tools that NBA franchises covet: size, length, shooting touch, defensive instincts, and the ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor. But as history reminds us, hyped prospects do not always deliver. Greg Oden, Sebastian Telfair, Anthony Bennett, and Lenny Cook all carried massive expectations, only to fall short of their projections. Mika looks different, but skepticism is natural. The tools are there, but tools alone do not guarantee NBA stardom. The jump from promising teenager to established pro is massive, and even the best prospects can stumble along the way. Scouts love his upside, but they will also point to the need for strength development, consistency against older competition, and the grind of adapting to the NBA schedule. Still, when you factor in his international experience at just 18, it is hard not to believe that Mika's trajectory is already separating him from the usual story of empty hype. What sets Mika apart is his mentality. Coaches describe him as fiercely competitive, hungry to improve, and locked in on his development. At AZ Compass Prep, he will face elite competition week after week. At Bradley Beal Elite, he proved he can deliver on the biggest grassroots stage. And with Finland's senior national team, he has shown he can already contribute against pros at the highest level of international basketball. The hype is real. The only question is whether it is too early to crown him or whether we are watching the rise of Finland's next global basketball star. So, how good is Miikka Muurinen actually? Maybe the best prospect Finland has ever produced. Maybe just another 5-star recruit who fades. Or maybe the next European player to take the NBA by storm. Let us know in the comments.